Say when. My name's Colorado. I've been hunting my whole life. Guiding, outfitting, and hunting.
Where in the world?
30 years now, I've made my living outdoors.
Somewhere in the outback.
We're in Mongolia.
Hello, Argentina. Right on the El Bicho. Red Square, Moscow, Russia.
Howdy, Colorado. Welcome to New Zealand.
Where in the world?
I just love it so much.
I'm gonna keep on loving it if it don't kill me.
If I had it my way, I'd take the whole world hunting.
Where in the world are we today? We're in a place that you can do many, many things with a guide that can make that happen. If you like duck hunting, you're going to enjoy today's show, or geese hunting, or quail hunting, or plains game hunting, or maybe you just like hunting Africa. If you like any of those things, you're going to enjoy today's show. We're in KwaZulu-Natal with a man that can make and does make that happen, all of it, and he makes it happen regularly. Wayne Dunne, Wild Wing Safaris. This hunt I took because not I needed to go back to South Africa again, or that I was interested in hunting just ducks or geese, but I could hunt plains game in an area I've not been and hunt francolins, ducks, geese. All of these are different species than you can get back in the States. Yeah, I'm interested. And this is how it turned out. Started at the ranch, go to Dallas, then to Atlanta, now Joburg. So we're in Africa.
When it was the front of the queue, we jump-started the whole of the Americans at the same point. So we playing behind us.
Day one, we're going duck and goose hunting. We've been out looking. Wayne does this all the time. He's got like 68 or 86 or some kind of places that he hunts. He hunts them all these places throughout the year, but he may hunt some of them once or twice a year. That's it. Once in the morning, once in the evening, the hunt's over for that year. Now, I've been to Africa many, many times. This is my 24th flight that I've made over here, and I've hunted a lot of countries. I've hunted a lot of places, been blessed to do that. But I really never went over to duck and goose hunt. Now, this is part of a plains game hunt, so how much fun could it be to go someplace where you can do a lot of different things? One trip, many different things, a lot of different experiences and memories and stuff. This is one of them. Here's duck hunting in Africa, and I'm watching all this stuff. I'm watching them load their gear and their dog, and there's no decoys. I ain't seen a call. I have nothing. So we go out there, and what's the setup? What's the plan? Wayne's like, no, we hunt different down there. It's totally wild, totally natural. And so that's what I find out. He's not kidding. He puts us in reeds. He puts us in different little hiding places, if you will. And it might be reeds or just tall grass or brush. And he knows, because he scouts so much, where them birds are feeding, where they're nesting, when they leave one body of water, where they're going to land. Look at that. What we're doing is out here hunting with Wayne Dunne, Wild Wing Safaris. We're heading out to do some duck hunting, duck and geese. So to get everything straight, make sure everybody's in position. And it depends on how many people he's got, but he has a spot for everybody. He puts a guy down at the end, knowing that's the first shot that's gonna be fired, and he puts one of his guys down there. And he said after that shot's fired, it's gonna be live. And he was right. So then I hear it going live.
Right, Mr. Buck, let's see if we can kill a duck.
Come on down, good shot. First shot got him. There we go. We're over here. We got an invite to partake in this, and we have, and it's been absolutely a blast. The things, when you go different places and hunt animals or bird, whatever it is that you're hunting, even if you've hunted it before, you'll go to different places and there's different methods. Some of the things that you've done before and they're totally foreign to you. Like there's no decoy set up here, there's no calling, there's no blind building per se. And then you'll do a shoot on one body of water, and he knows when you do that shoot where the birds are going to go. Be there that evening for the next, and the birds are just always there, and he has so much land and so many opportunities. He'll literally hunt these places once or twice a year. It's amazing, and it's endless. The next valley, and the scenery is spectacular. There's nothing short of, you just can't call it anything. The Drakensberg Mountains of Middleburg, just mountain range after mountain range, beauty. Just what you think Africa should be, what it looks like in your imagination. Maybe if you haven't been here, you'll find it here. And if you come wing shooting over here, duck or goose hunting or plains game hunting, you'll find it all here. Pretty impressive operation. He's really put a lot of thought in front of what he was doing, and it shows. Now we're hunting Franklin, which is like hunting quail, or just like a big quail, and you use the pointers. So now on one trip to Africa, we're doing a plains game hunt. We're hunting ducks and geese, and now we're quail hunting, say. Anybody, if you think about it, you're like going on 4 or 5 trips within one trip here.
Find a bird. You see how there she started getting interested, and that's obviously
she's getting birdie over there, wasn't she?
It was just running ahead of her a little bit. Oh, those birds are running. Come, here, follow, look, one more time here. Come here, here, Lexi. There's a whole covey, look at that. There's a whole covey in there. Right, so we'll set up for them now. Watch the hole there, Colorado. Lexi, come here. Ah, bird!
Hunting Franklin is like hunting a big quail, and we had the pointers out. And it's a lot of fun if you like dogs. And, you know, somebody that spent a lot of time with their dogs and trained them to watch them work, it really is enjoyable.
She works at a certain pace, and then you'll see her suddenly slow down like she did there. Because Andre, you're gonna just get bird, yeah. Yeah, I literally stood on that thing, eh? Yeah, we'll give the dog one more run, then we'll. Colorado, you can so long just move yourself up to the edge of that cornfield.
All right.
Yeah, see, there's birds there. They're still flying out. See the Franklin there?
Got him.
Bird! Is she on point, Andre? Bird!
They're really, really beautiful birds, and it's just an added treat, if you will, to the trip. It's not just a bird hunt, it's different species, different country, different methods. All in all, it's a brand new experience. If you've been hunting ducks and geese and quail your whole life, it's still a brand new experience. You're going to enjoy this. You know, I've mentioned it many times that when you're on, Africa's just got it over so many other places, because when you're on safari, you're just that. Just because you're hunting one animal in particular, it doesn't mean that you're going to ever see that animal, get a shot at that animal or not. What it does mean is that every step you take, you could bump into something else that's on your wish list or that's part of your safari, and there you go.
Right here must be a warthog or something.
Might jump out there, Colorado. Hey? Give me a stick. Right, Colorado. Freaking difficult shot. There's a second one somewhere there. Wait, he's just moved. Okay, he's probably gonna pop out on the right there. Yeah, they're fine. Both these two on the left have got enough tusk to shoot. So I'll leave that one on the right. Yeah, it's a young one, but both these have enough. Yeah, it's worth it. But now you've got to decide if that shot, you can take a shot from here if you want to try and edge a bit closer.
So you started off after red hartebeest and you end up at an opportunity at a zebra or a warthog or something else that's on the list. And people don't understand just exactly how tough it is to hunt a zebra. Well, how hard could it be? Well, if you're saying that, then you haven't hunted them.
There's a zebra up there.
Once they get in any kind of brush, those stripes are more limbs and branches, and they're very, very sharp. They're one of the hardest things there is. Once you get after them, they know you're after them, and you try to work in the brush with them. You're going to be lucky if you get in on an animal like that. And Wayne looked up and he spotted some zebra and he said, stop, and he's glassing. He goes, there's a beautiful zebra, and they're wanting to take some off of this block. And he said, this is something I want us to do. So we stop in the middle of we're looking at a red hartebeest trying to get on. Next thing, we're in a zebra hunt that quick.
We'll battle from here, but if we go there where it drops off, we can get in there nice and comfortable. Okay.
That is a pretty zebra. When you see acacia trees and backdrops like this, you know that you're somewhere in Africa. And that's where in the world we are this week. On a return trip to Wild Wing Safaris with Wayne Dunne. A lot of outfitters offer packages and different things that you can do or partake in while you're on a trip with them. Wayne probably offers a wider array of opportunities than anybody I've ever hunted with. And that spans from deep sea fishing to horseback hunts for birds in the mountains. All the plains game, ducks, geese, francolin, a wide array of different birds. That's his main thing. But what if you could hunt some of the mini 5 or the tiny 10 and mix the rest of it in there? Plus sites, historic places, sites that anybody would enjoy seeing and experiencing. Well, that's what he has to offer. And he's a lot of fun to be around. And that is what's brought us back here. Hunting with him the first time was a blast. We're now going to a new place, the Sands Forest, to hunt for Sunni and red diker. When you think you've seen all that a country has to offer, you can go to one last location, look around, you don't believe you're still in that country. But when you roll up on some scenery that you swear you're in the middle of Tanzania and you're in South Africa, some of the most beautiful backdrops you've ever seen. So you find out that there's 2 countries within the country and there's stuff that you can go hunt there. Pretty excited about not only coming to a new place in South Africa, but hunting a different species.
My name is Wayne Dunne. I'm the owner of Wild Wing Safaris, based in central Drakensberg, South Africa, KwaZulu-Natal. I've grown up here my whole life. I've been operating out of here for over 15 years. Specialist bird hunting outfitter with some cracking plains game areas close by. We lease a couple of game reserves in the area, and well renowned for our plains game and mixed bag safaris with the waterfowl and ground birds. Talking to Colorado in South Carolina last year, or earlier this year, and we were chatting about what I do here, and he seemed to think that he had been all over Africa and he had seen it all. And in his limited time here with me, he's realized that our areas are very diverse, very different. We've got the mountains, the plateaus, the thick bush, all in the same area, which is quite unique compared to the rest of southern Africa. And my business prides itself on hunting where the animals are from. We try and go to where the animals are originally from, not relocated animals. Our ducks and our geese and our ground birds are all wild. We actively hunt them over a season and follow them around. Our plains game animals, we take where they are originally from, i.e. meaning the Nyala in the right places, the Sunni in the sand forest, wherever it need be, we'll go. And our policy, hunting aside, is good food, good accommodation and great company. And that's what I guarantee. And the hunting is as hard as we work it as the results we get. I've been very, very fortunate over the last 10, 12 years that I've actually done very little marketing. This will be my first social or TV campaign. The rest of it has been all word of mouth. I've never taken a booking on the internet, and we've been fortunate for the last few years to have over 170 days of hunting booked a year with people from all over the world.
We fired our guns and the British took to running. They run through the holes that run through the brush where a rabbit couldn't go. This morning we're going after Sunni and red diker. These are 2 species that I've not been able to hunt before, and I'm pretty excited about not only coming to a new place in South Africa, but hunting a different species. So I've not seen, when you think you've seen all that a country has to offer, you can go to one last location, look around, you don't believe you're still in that country. So we're in the sand forest. You're in that game's native habitat.
We gotta just keep trying, eh? Let's keep going.
So in the middle of a drought, in the middle of the winter, we get a huge rainstorm. And then a little bit later, we show up, and it looks like we're in the Yucatan jungle. So we go from brush, where we should be able to see 70, 80 yards through the brush, to being able to see 20 yards or less. I mean, it's just unbelievable. You know, you get everybody scratching their head and they're trying to explain it away. You can't explain Mother Nature nowhere. And here you sure can, because, I mean, we're right in the middle of it. The camera crew, me, we're all trying to figure out how we're going to do this. We're going to do one thing only. We're going to go and we're going to try. And that's all we can do. But when you get out there in it and you start walking, and that brush is so thick. If you've been to maybe South Texas brush country, that's so thick you can't fall down and hit the ground in most places. You'll be at home here on this trip because that's how thick this is. Or the Yucatan jungle, or just it is like a jungle here all of a sudden, and it's not supposed to be like this. And now we've traveled all this way, flown halfway across the world. We've went all the way to the southeastern part of KwaZulu-Natal, and we're in the sand forest, and it's a spring jungle. Gotta love hunting.
That's right.
We've finally been successful in getting and taking a red diker. A lot of people don't realize, you think about Africa and you think about the big five, and what you don't think about is the prices and the places that you've got to go. And it leads a lot of people to think you can't experience Africa, and that's not true. There's many, many things that you can do. They've even got a category called the Mini 5 or the Tiny 10, and it can be just as challenging, if not more, than any of the big five or dangerous game that you can hunt. We've literally been walking through, this is like a jungle, and you're walking through here and you're looking for an animal this size that's literally, as he's moving through this grass and the bottom brush, you can't see him. And if you do see him, 2 bounces. That's what you got to see, because you never see them again. So the challenge is there, and it's extreme. We've walked miles through this brush. Many, many times we've been lucky enough, fortunate enough to spot a red diker, but not get a shot. And we finally did. And that's what you got to do, is just keep going and keep going. But it's the challenge, it's the experience, and it's part of Africa. Hunting the Mini 5 or the Tiny 10 is within the reach of just about anybody. If you can go to Africa and you want to go hunt plains game or hunt something, you can also mix it up with Wayne's World, we call it. Wayne Dunne's organization gives us a lot of different opportunities. Plus, we're close to many historic sites. It's hard to imagine when you're standing here looking out around the perimeter of this mountain, Spine Call, at the beauty, and it's nothing short of beautiful anywhere you look. That in 1900, January 24th, it was one of the bloodiest, most costly battles the British or the South Africans, either one ever had or knew. And if you know the history of it and the people that was involved, President Paul Kruger National Park was in this battle right here on this hill, and Winston Churchill was right here. And we're walking up and down these trails and around these outcroppings, and you know very well, if you think about it, that Winston Churchill did walk right in the same footsteps that you're walking right now. Granted, it was over 100 years ago, but still, if you think back about some of the places that you go, the history, you can really enjoy a place, no matter where in the world it might be. You can enjoy that place more if you understand the history about it. What I see is some of the world's most magnificent monuments that watched people walk that same trail that we are on. But if you can take a minute while you're doing whatever it is that you're doing and think back about the history of the area that you've been in, it can be pretty fascinating. It can be what you remember the most out of your trip. pretty amazing.
Quite a long drag, eh? Right from the top there. But look at the leopard. I reckon there's 2 cats here. I think there's 2 cats here. Look at the size of that pug mark there.
There's a female and a
And
younger
the size this one here. I mean, that's a big one there.
Yep.
Smaller one there. There could be 3. There looks like another size, another animal
Right here.
And they've walked along with the drag. This is fresh, eh? It's a long drag, to be honest.
Took a long way, didn't it?
Yeah. You don't know how long it's
kittens.
We don't know how long it's gone into the other side as well. That's very cool to see though.
Yeah.
That's skill from last night.
Surprised they didn't put it up. They ain't worried about nothing. There are probably only 3 in the area, yeah?
Yeah, there's no, the hyenas don't bother them too much. That's why they don't put it up.
They bothered that Nyana pretty bad.
We followed these leopards where they made their kill and they drug it. We followed the drag into just a little opening in real thick brush. We found the kill they made last night, and then there's more around here. It looks like they're going hunting and they're just bringing everything right back to this little area here and eating it. A lot of times they hang it in a tree. These aren't hung in a tree. There's not hyenas and all the other predators to worry about, so they're just bringing it to the same place and eating them, looks like.
Decide if we're gonna shoot it or not, but if we see, I want you to get up on the sticks, just in case. So we've only got that limited times, and if it is a go, we don't have to just reset you. Okay. And you can find it, whatever.
Man, you talking about a challenge.
I'll tell you what though, Colorado, that was good shooting, eh?
Yeah. I mean, it's the first ones that we've seen, right?
Sure.
All the places that we've been. How bad. Thank you, sir. Nobody would ever realize how challenging this is until they come and do it. There's no way you could imagine. That is, I'm just totally, thank you. I'm tickled as I can be. Good guiding. Thank you, sir. Nobody would ever realize how challenging this is until they come and do it.
It's not easy.
There's no way you could imagine. You know what? People will look at this right here. Huh?
No, I didn't want to ask you
there was a
first, and that's why I said to him, take the rifle out of your leg.
I'm like, I got a great big spot to shoot through about like that right there.
well, as he pulled the trigger, the female one stood and looked at me, and I just thought, and I picked it up.
You saw the horns.
Yeah.
I saw the horns, and then
Yeah.
through the scope, you said, no, it's got horns. And then
Bang it. But that's a beaut, eh? You know that, eh? That's a beaut.
That's beaut to me. You know what, man? Nobody realized they're looking at this, and how can this be a trophy, or how can this be a challenge? Well, come and do it. That's what. Okay, you want to hear me? You want to listen? Come and try it. The thing is about it, there's the mini 5, the tiny 10. If you can imagine, we've drove and we've walked and we've done a little bit of everything. And to be honest with you, I was like, all right, well, this is why you go hunt. But I was looking around going, the guys never did back off. They're like, go, go. I'm like, this is like finding a needle in a haystack. This is like finding a needle in a hay field, not just a stack. But that is an absolute beautiful animal. I'm just tickled pink. So many people that's out there that want to come and experience Africa, they don't realize that they can. They think it's beyond their financial reach. And nowadays, there's more opportunities probably than ever before. And there's categories that people can still challenge themselves. And so you don't have to go hunt the big 5 for bukus of money. You can go and try your hand at the mini 5 or the tiny 10. These are within reach of a lot of people, and it's becoming more and more popular all the time. And for me, it's still a challenge within a challenge. So to go try and put yourself where you need to put yourself and take the tiny 10, it's a blast because it's hunting, and actually you're doing it because you enjoy the hunt.
Colorado's been out with me close on 10 days now. We've had a fantastic trip together. We've had a lot of fun. He's a good guy. We've experienced, we've done a lot of plains game hunting. I think he's really enjoyed it. He's a really good time, really wide open area, big space. 75% of our stuff, of our hunting is unfenced, which is hard to find in South Africa. And I think he really enjoyed the duck hunting. I think it blew his mind, the volume of birds we have and the amount of shooting you can actually get in really close to the plains game hunting areas.
Hey, that's a wrap for this week. I hope you enjoyed the show, and I appreciate you watching. If you want more information on Wayne Dunne and Wild Wing Safaris, it's listed here below. You can always go to our website, HeyColoradoBuck.com. You can find more information on the outfitter, their websites, and contact information from outfitters that spanned many, many years ago to the latest trips we've had. Until next week, God bless every one of you, and good hunting.
Colorado Today.
You know exactly what I'm talking about. Just because you set out after one target, that doesn't mean nothing. It doesn't mean anything. Chances are you're going to come back with something as far from that as you could imagine.